how you can find relevant influencers for all kind of products, categories, and industries out there. If you followed me some time now, you maybe know that so far I always did influencer marketing the manual way. So I basically browse Instagram and searched manually for all kind of people, and that is also what I so far recommended all of you guys so far, because I didn't know any real platform that was that I was basically fine with. I tried some, but I was never that happy. But now recently I actually find a platform that is pretty nice. As you know, that I only recommend tools and resources that I either use myself or that I tested. And this one is actually a pretty cool platform that I want to show you today, that may boost your influencer marketing campaigns drastically. And it's called Scrunch. So somewhere here you will also find a trial link if you want to check it out. Maybe you want to check the site while I go through this to check what it's about. And right now we are in the directory search of Scrunch. And what is the biggest problem, or one of the biggest problems in influencer marketing? It's usually finding the perfect influencer for your product. So a lot of people who come to me and ask, hey, how can I do influencer marketing the right way, ask about how can you find an influencer that is really a perfect fit for your product. And now I show you, using the Scrunch directory, how I would do this and how you can do this as well using this tool. Let's say, for example, you have products in the field of, I don't know, let's just say beauty, very general thing. And now what this does is it basically browses through all the influencers in its database which are about beauty, and now you can do a lot of filtering, and you can have a look at a lot of different things. So if you head up here, filter now, you can, for example, only choose influencers, which is what I normally do. You can also look for brands, news and media, and celebrities. But in most of the cases, it makes sense to only use influencers, because celebrity is something you can hardly reach. Brands will not really advertise your products, and news and media usually as well. So I always go for influencers only. And then you can choose different networks as well. So you can choose if you only want to use blogs or Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So I usually go with Instagram and Facebook, sometimes also with blogs. I don't really use Twitter, so I don't have that much experience with it as well. But it's very helpful so that you can immediately know which platforms they're using. And if you take a look at the results here, you see here this icon. They have Twitter, 890,000 followers, Facebook, 2.5 million likes, Instagram, 2.9 million followers, and then here you can see the blog. And if I open it, I will be directed immediately. So yeah, this is the blog. Oh, they're powered by Shopify Plus. That's nice. Yeah, so this is basically how you can browse through it. Then you very, very important, you can type in a follower range. So all these people here, 6.3 million and 3.5, 4.1, most likely these are way too big for you, way too expensive. So what I like to do is I start very low, let's say at 20,000, because the smallest influencers normally have the biggest influence. So if you wonder why I sound so strange, I'm a little bit sick, so sorry for that. But the smallest influencers usually have the highest influence. So if you take a look at the engagement of a 20,000 follower influencer, it's usually much higher relatively in relation than the engagement of a 2 million influencer. So the smaller the influencer, the higher the engagement in relation to a bigger one. This is what I saw and what I experienced, and what also many experts in this field say as well. So let's say we go from 20,000 to 300 to 300, and now it gets much smaller. So now we only have 1,440, and depending on where you sell and where your main audience is, you can choose locations. Of course, this doesn't mean that all the people liking this page are also from this location, but normally if you have North America, chances are that you also have a lot of North American followers. But for now, we just keep it at this point. And what you also see here is that the social reach is divided on different channels. So when it says 182,000, it means that they have this amount of followers on YouTube, this amount on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and they have a blog. So maybe it makes sense to use someone who has just 1 or 2 sources, because the more sources they have, normally the more expensive it gets. And maybe you don't really want to get featured on Facebook or on a blog, but you basically sometimes pay for it because they see it as work that they have to do. So it makes, in my opinion, makes sense to go with someone who is focused on one platform or 2 platforms, like here, Facebook, Instagram, and a blog. But very nice is, of course, if they only have, for example, Instagram and a blog. So in this case, we just go to this girl here, Tonya Michelle, and she has 168,000 subscribers, and their subscribers seem pretty active actually. So the engagement is not great, but it's still pretty good. So 170,000, and she has 4,000 likes, 3,000 likes, quite a lot of video views, so that's not that bad. And now what you can do here is you can contact her and tell her about your beauty product and ask for a shout out or for a real promotion, stuff like that. I find that this platform here, Scrunch, is really helpful. So it's definitely great that it makes it much easier. So when I browse Instagram, I usually go here on search, and then you have only a few suggestions, and you have to go through, and you have to make sure that it's really about your topic, and then you have to check each of them for the number of subscribers they have, and and here you have all of it in one place. It's very easy, it's very intuitive. You just have to go through it, and then you have Temptalia 100,000, Mina 108,000, and depending on your budget and on your goals, you can pre-filter everything. Maybe you want to start at 10,000, maybe you want to start at 200,000 and have an open end, and then you have a lot of other people, which makes it very, very great. Obviously, they don't have anyone on their list, but quite a lot of people. And now you're not only limited to the few very big and broad categories from the beginning. You can also say, for example, shoes, and when you sell shoes, you can now go through these guys here. And what I found is that it's not 100% accurate. So, for example, the topic of this influencer is footwear and fashion, and here it says already in the bio, love high heels and stuff like that. But they are quite accurate, so it's definitely worth checking out, because they can possibly save a lot of time. So, pretty cool thing actually. The whole tool costs $99 with a 7 days trial period, I think, or 7 days trial, yeah. And it's definitely worth a try, in my opinion. Just check it out if you want. Like I said, I recommend the tools that I use myself and that I find helpful, so you might want to take a look if you're in influencer marketing. Let me know if you have any questions about this topic, if you want to learn more about influencer marketing, since I see a lot of demand recently for this topic compared to Facebook ads, for example. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want to learn more about it. If you use this tool, let me know what you think about it, and see you in the next video.